So good morning. This is weeks 2 FRQ. Hopefully you will enjoy listening to what the correct response is if you haven't already looked it up online. Hope you haven't. Anyway, I thought this was an interesting FRQ. This question has something to do with gene transcription and translation, similar to what you've been talking about last week. And there are 2 genes that are required for the complete translation of this one product, which is actually, it's an auxin in plants, and auxins help plants grow. It's a plant hormone. It's called IAA, which is actually indole acetic acid, which is a plant hormone. So this is the enzymatic pathway for that. And here's the question. It says auxins are plant hormones that coordinate several aspects of root growth and development. Indole-3 acetic acid, IAA, is an auxin that usually is synthesized from amino acid tryptophan. Gene TRPT encodes an enzyme that converts tryptophan to indole-3 pyruvic acid, which is I3PA, which is then converted to IAA by an enzyme encoded by the gene YUCK. That's interesting. Okay, so in part A, it says to circle one arrow that represents a transcription on the template pathway and identify the molecule that would be absent if enzyme YUCK is non-functional. This is worth 2 points. So what I would do is I would actually circle these so you can have 2 of them. So transcription is actually happening here, and it's also happening here, because both of these are producing messenger RNA. So you could actually state, so I would circle it, and then I would actually state the fact that you have the arrow from the gene to messenger RNA in either pathway, and I would actually state that. Then we would identify the molecule that would be absent if YUCK is non-functional. So if YUCK is non-functional, then IAA is obviously not going to be able to be completed. This is actually part B of the question. It says predict how the deletion of one base pair in the 4th codon of the coding region of gene TRPT would most likely affect the production of IAA and justify your prediction. Well, many of you, I'm sure I've told you this, that if you actually have something like the cat 8, which would represent codons. So if any of these are absent, then all of a sudden you can't actually read this sentence. So if there's a deletion of one base pair, that means the codon that corresponds to the triplet pairs are not going to be the same amino acid potentially. So it might affect, so if it's a nonsense mutation, then it really won't affect anything. If it is a frameshift mutation, then the amino acids will be different in the protein, and therefore you're not going to be able to have this enzyme be functional. So probably a non-functional enzyme would result in that, or you might just have a non-coding. It could be a stop codon at some point in time early on, and it might not ever be translated. So that's how you would justify the prediction of that. You actually have to explain that. And by the way, I uploaded into your class notes Power Words PowerPoint, and you can see there's 2 power words here. One's predict and one's justify. So you have to understand what it is that you have to write in your FRQ.